This is Module 1 for EDL 852, Introduction to Administration, and my name is Hannah Turner. A little bit about me. I live in Yates Center, Kansas. It's on the eastern side of the state. I'm married to my husband, Blake, and he's also a teacher, and we share a lot of the same students, actually. It's kind of fun. We have two cats, Wally and Gracie, and our first child is due on September 4th. A bit more about me. I enjoy reading and antiquing in my spare time. I've been to England and Ireland when I was in college. That is me outside the pub that Tolkien and Lewis would meet to discuss their books. And I plan on purchasing family land in the near future. That is the barn that my great-great-grandfather built around 1900 or so. So my life in education, I'm originally from Southeast Kansas, but I graduated from Ouachita Baptist University in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. And after I graduated, I taught 6th grade math in Malvern for 2 years. And then once my husband graduated, we moved to Yates Center, where I teach 6th through 8th grade math. And this is my 6th class with Fort Hays, and I absolutely love it. So what is a mission statement? A mission statement should answer 3 main questions, and the first one has to do with who the school serves, and it usually should include some sort of demographics. You can't just say students. If it's high school students, you need to state that they're in high school. If they're preschool, you need to state that they're in preschool. It should probably also include a little bit about like who they are. Maybe they're all special needs students. Maybe they're deaf students. It just depends on like your specific school. And your mission statement should also include your goals as a school, and also how you will meet those goals. The word mission to me is an action verb, and that should be reflected in this statement. You should have some sort of like words that show like how exactly you're going to accomplish the goals, either through your curriculum, include your philosophy of education, or something else. Somehow, some way you're going to meet these goals. So what is a vision statement? That is how you want outsiders to view this school. It is kind of more like to me, like what you're hoping for is like what your ultimate goal of what your school is going to be. Mission is how you're going to meet this, like, you know, maybe pie in the sky type of idea almost. But a vision is like the actual, goal that you're setting. And it states your school's priorities, and it's meant to inspire growth and achievement. So, what is the role and importance of school mission and vision? First, it's to drive culture of the school. If you're a school that really likes teaching the whole child, then that should be reflected as in your school culture. Everything that you do should be centered around, educating the entire child. The next 3 or 4 kind of like go together, but basically they should kind of create this kind of like sense of like group think. I don't know. I don't want to say group think because that's almost kind of negative, but like everyone should have like this sense of buy-in. So, and that should come from the mission and vision statements. Like everyone should both know what these are and believe in them and work to achieve these goals that are stated in the mission and the vision statements. And they should also aid teachers in planning lessons. So if in your mission statement you state that you're going to be innovative and you're going to use a lot of technology to achieve that, then you probably shouldn't be teaching out of the book every day. You should probably try to incorporate some new ideas. And jumping off of that, it should create some accountability. Everyone should be kind of on the same page type of a thing. And if you're not, then you can look to the mission and vision statement to kind of see where you're supposed to be. So how do school mission and vision statements work together? Vision statements kind of give the vibe, and mission statements kind of detail the how, but both are for community members and staff, so that we all can see like how the school is supposed to be, what our goals are, and how we're going to get there. So what is the process for collaboratively developing a mission and vision? So the first thing you should do is solicit input from all stakeholders. I think this is where a lot of principals kind of get off. You need to, ask input not just from teachers, not just from other admin. You need to also include parents and other support staff in making this mission and vision statements. That's how you kind of create buy-in from the get-go. Number two, you should, based on this input of what all of these different groups say they want to see in their schools, you can work with a team to draft a mission vision. And this is a team that you can, build yourself. Um, the the stuff that I read suggested making like a leadership team of like different staff members, but I feel like you could probably also include parents if they would feel comfortable with that. And step three is to present a draft to all staff and collect feedback. And then based on that feedback, you can unveil the mission and vision to all stakeholders. And it needs to be in an extremely public place. You can't just like put it on the internet and be done with it. It needs to be displayed everywhere that the school is. So what are the processes for developing an actual mission and vision statement? I'm sorry about that. I don't know why I was doing that. And vision attentive to a variety of values and priorities. So you need to gather input from a wide variety of stakeholders. So you need to develop a method of gathering input. I'm actually teaching statistics in my seventh grade math class, and we talk a lot about getting a sample size that is random. And you can't just like pick and choose who you're going to get input from. Like you can't pick, the school, like the school board members you get along with. You can't just pick the parents of the kids you like. You have to do it from a wide variety of people who you have a wide variety of backgrounds. And you need to ensure that the chosen method is valid and reliable, that it's not like the data can't be skewed in any possible way. I live in a really high poverty area, so maybe the internet is not exactly the best way to try to get survey results. Or maybe we can use the internet, but we also need to have some sort of backup plan. And we need to distribute the surveys, et cetera, to all groups, obviously. And then once you get all this data back after a certain amount of time, you need to review it with your team that you have developed to create these mission and vision statements. So, characteristics of well-written mission and vision statements. They use language that can be understood by everyone. No one cares what kind of gifted linguist you are. People need to be able to understand what you read, what you write. Um, and it needs to focus on themes important to the community. These things could be like diversity, um, technology, preparation for the future. It just depends on your own community. And it needs to mention, and these statements mention and are specific to the age of the students taught. So a lot of preschool type visions have themes of like sharing and um, educating the whole child, but high school mission and vision statements have to do more with like preparing students to be adults in the 21st century. There's two very, very different things. But regardless, they should be very focused on academics. We are a school, and it should be modeled by staff. I think this last one is extremely important because what is the point if your staff does not care about these mission and vision statements? There is none. So common problems with mission and vision statements, they can be too vague with no concrete goals or values. And they can only be displayed in one area, such as like a website. Like I really had to hunt for one, and the one that I found, I'm not even sure if it's the actual mission statement. And it's not discussed with staff who are sometimes completely unaware of the statements or have never even given them a thought. And they are unmotivating to stakeholders because they are so vague, because they've never been discussed, or because we've never even seen them. So, my own personal thoughts, I'm a little skeptical about mission and vision statements. I want to know, like, do they actually really motivate people to like work towards a common goal and do their absolute best to achieve that goal? I tend to find them to be extremely vague, therefore that makes them meaningless. And I personally have never even seen one in print in my 5 years of teaching, and maybe I have, but if I did, it didn't make any sort of impression on me. So there's that. That's my personal thought. So here's the mission statement that I found in the student handbook of Yates Center Middle School. And Yates Center Middle School doesn't technically exist. It's Yates Center Elementary School. So I take this with a grain of salt because I don't really know if this is the actual mission statement. And again, I had to hunt for it. This is the first time I've ever seen it before ever. It is the mission of Yates Center Middle School to provide students with academic, social, and technical skills necessary to succeed in society. So, my critiques of this statement, it does not describe how the mission will be accomplished. Like it states like what the goal is, but not exactly how they're gonna do it. And therefore, it's just a little vague. Like, how does it describe success? Like, it's different for just about everybody. Um, so, it's just a little too vague for me. And it's not displayed or discussed ever. I don't even think students get a handbook anymore. I think they're just told to look at one online. So the students don't even see this, and it's supposed to be in their handbook. Um, yeah, I've never discussed it with anybody. So, how does this support the successes of each student and adult mission and vision statements? It creates common goals. It helps everyone motivate towards the success that is stated in the mission and vision statements. It creates accountability so that everyone is pretty much on the same page, and also fuels innovation. Like, what else can we be doing to make these goals happen for us? So my three statements, my standard correlation. In this assignment, I researched how to write effective mission and vision statements and why they are important to the overall success of a school. Most crucial point is that those statements are collaboratively developed and communicated to the stakeholders of a school. Those two are the most important ones, I feel like. Before this assignment, I wouldn't have been able to distinguish between mission and vision statements. My school district is currently going through an identity crisis where there's a lot of turnover and just a lot of general dissatisfaction. I feel like we should at least make some sort of attempt to develop a new mission and vision statements district wide so that we can hopefully create some sort of camaraderie and create some accountability there. I apologize for this. So my reflection, I'm still a little bit skeptical here of the value of mission and vision statements, but at least I know now that when I become a principal, this is definitely something I need to do and how to do it. And it should take more time and attention than I would have originally assumed. And whoops. And here are my references. Thank you, everybody, for watching.